don't have your bio though, so let me go get your bio while we're talking here.
Well, and my last name.
Hello, hello, and it is multiple streams of consciousness and Vibe It Up with Dr. Alexis Johnson. And as usual, we are still broadcasting at the end of 2022 with 6 planets retrograde. And you know what happens when 6 planets go retrograde, don't you? Everything and everything possible that could go wrong does go wrong. So we're just doing the very best that we can do here. And I've got my good friend. Sorry. I know what I'm doing. I've got my very good friend here, Vesna, and Vesna is going to explain how to pronounce your last name because apparently I've been doing it wrong all these years. What can I say? I never have to introduce her.
That's right.
Last name.
Yeah. Most people, if they can even say my first name, hallelujah, because I get everything. Vesna, Verna, Vespa, Vanessa, whatever. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
People call me Mercedes because I have a car name. Guess what? I came before the car. They copied me. So we're going to introduce Vesna Matic here. Vesna has an MA in clinical psychology and an LMLP, which is a licensed master's level psychologist. And she's a certified integral health practitioner, which encompasses both the Eastern and the Western psychologies and philosophies. The combined education and disciplines have opened doors to Vesna, becoming a transformational counselor and pranic healer, a shaman, get that, a spiritual director, a reverend, and a certified constellations facilitator. Vesna has developed certain pathways for personal therapy that integrate the science of mental health and the dimension of the human spirit to address the full spectrum of the human experience. Vesna has several approaches for therapeutic counseling. She provides one-on-one sessions in her office or her home setting for comfort and security. And in an adventurous exploration of multi-level healing, Vesna has taken her diverse spiritual experiences to offer clients international tours to ancient and sacred sites for participation in cultural traditions as a journey guide. And she's talking me into going with her. So, folks, I might be going to Peru.
Hallelujah. About time.
Hallelujah for sure. So one of the reasons that we're going to Peru is Vesna has some information about how you can get some less expensive treatments that are equal to the quality of the type of treatments we can get here in North America. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Lexis. Really appreciate being on your show again.
Before we do that, how do you pronounce your last name?
Well, in English, it's Matic. In Yugoslav, I mean, my mom's Slovenian, my father was Serbian. Matic.
Okay.
Yeah. They decided when they came to the U.S., so many people added the H, so either SH, CH to have that ch sound, because we have that little check mark over the C's and the S's, but it's pronounced Matic. Yeah.
So. Matic. Okay. Why have you never, ever, ever corrected me? How long have we known each other? Since what, 2008 or something?
Oh, I stopped counting.
I can't even remember. Okay. So why go to Peru for medical issues, Vesna Matic?
Matic. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Peru is also very equipped, knowledgeable as far as medical issues are concerned. You know, the doctors have to have just as much education and knowledge as here in the United States. The main difference when, Yeah,
right? They got
exactly.
quality education,
Right.
exactly.
Right. So when people ask why is uh, the whole medical field so much reasonable as far as cost, I would say there are multiple reasons. Number one, the whole system, Peru does not have the attorneys that we have here in the United States, so there isn't that concern about being sued. And the doctors here, of course, have to pay so much in malpractice insurance, so that doesn't happen there. And so I can hear just some people's minds clicking, like, oh, well, because they don't have that to worry about, then the care is not as good, and
Yeah,
that's
but that's not the case. That's not the case.
no.
They have other things available to them. They have a lot of alternative healing that's available to them. So they don't just jump right into invasive techniques. They offer the other natural as well,
Well,
right?
and also not just that. I mean, that's correct. The thing is, the doctors really do take their time to sit down with their patients. It's not like here. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to some clients right now who saw a psychiatrist, and it was like they sat down maybe 2 minutes. And the psychiatrist was like, okay, well, how is the medication? Is it working? Do you want to keep it or do you want to change? And it's like, one, two, three, and they're out of the office. There, they really do take the time to sit down, talk to a person, find out what's going on, what they're wanting. The other thing, and I was talking with my boyfriend the other day. We were watching a movie that was filmed in the UK, right? And so in England, people do take care of themselves. They want to make sure they're healthy, their teeth and everything. But like here in the United States, people are so concerned about their teeth, making sure that they're straight, or do they need to have their teeth bleached and all that kinds of thing. Well, a good friend of mine, Daniel, who now lives in Peru, he originally lived in California. So he moved to Peru and had to go to a dentist. And it was so funny because while he was still living in California, the dentist told him it would cost him thousands and thousands of dollars in order to correct his teeth. When he got to Peru, the dentist was like, for what? You don't need to have the root canal, the this and the that. And it only cost him a couple of $100s.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like so many times the doctors really almost kind of pressure people to have different procedures done that, like I said, are just not necessary.
Mhm.
Which is another reason why the cost of medical procedures and issues overall is more affordable there. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, And so, yes, a person really does talk to the doctor, they're listened to. Now, the doctors are also upfront and will say, for example, if somebody says, I have issues with my heart, potentially maybe saw a doctor here, and the doctor is recommending heart surgery or something, the doctors will say very quickly that it is much better to have those things done in the United States, because the United States is definitely more advanced in certain areas. So if it's something that they don't feel comfortable in doing or whatever, they will tell you right up front. Yeah,
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
amazing. But they are comparable to the doctors in the US in so many other ways, right?
Well,
And
and
which city you're in too as well. It's just like here in North America. It depends what city you're in. If you're in a little teeny tiny town, you don't have as many specialists as you would have in a bigger center. So it's the same all over, right? The world's getting
exactly,
smaller that way.
yeah, and also, um, boy, just a moment, um, but
Well, we're talking
yeah.
about
Oh,
comparisons,
what I
right?
was yeah, what I was going to say is that, it's so funny. There are so many professions, and I can speak for like psychology, right? The medical profession, doctors, they have the training there, but for whatever reason, when they come to the United States, even though they studied maybe even longer than here in the United States, it's not recognized.
Yeah, they have to repeat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which to me is heartbreaking.
yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. When they could be specializing in something different, and if they wanted to go back in and get more education, they could learn something different, but they're actually being forced to take the same basics all over again, which is kind of redundant. But I want everyone to grab their phone, and if you're, unless you're watching it on your phone, click the link in our commercial to get a gift, or scan it with your scan the QR code with your camera, and it'll be the same for all the commercials that we have if you're watching it on your computer screen, because we have gifts for you. And I have no idea what we're going to have, because there's 6 planets retrograde in the last half year of 2022. Whenever you're watching this is what's going on. We've had, like, it's like a deck of playing cards. You throw them up in the air and 52 land where they land. So that's what's happening today. So we'll be right back with multiple streams of consciousness and Vesna Matic and Dr. Alexis Johnson. And I promise you that we will put this link up in the Facebook group. So if you find the Facebook group called Multiple Streams of Consciousness dash vibe it up, that's my group. I had another group, but somebody decided that they were going to steal my group, and I had them working for me. So that's like a big whole mess over there too. 6 planets retrograde, what can I say? So multiple streams of consciousness, vibe it up, go in there, and we will get the gifts in there. And if you don't see them right away, just because we're going to take our time about making sure they're edited properly, but they will be there, and you can always watch the show and just scan ahead till you get to the commercial. We want you to come to Peru with us. It's going to be so much fun. Vesna, tell us what we're going to do in Peru, because there's Machu Picchu for one thing, right?
Well, and so often I hear from people that Machu Picchu has been on their bucket list for so long. And now is definitely the time. I encourage everyone to come along, because we will be going up to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is in what's called the Sacred Valley. Okay. And so time permitting, it does depend on, let's say, how many individuals will want to sit down with a doctor. But so, there is definitely that opportunity. And that is included in this trip. Okay, is the initial sit down with the doctor. And after that, then again, depending on how much time a person has, if they need to spend more time with the doctor, that's wonderful. That's why they're there. And for the rest of us that are not going to be needing anything medical taken care of, Machu Picchu, and then we will be going around also the Sacred Valley to some other sites. We will be working with a local healer, and we will be doing what's called a despacho ceremony. The despacho ceremony is a ceremony that is done quite often in Peru. It is definitely done during the month of August. August is the whole month of August, which I absolutely love. Unlike here in the United States, where we have Earth Day, right? In Peru, it's the whole month of August. Whole month.
going to say.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about, can I say it?
Sure.
Pachamama.
Pachamama, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Pachamama, Mother Earth. Um, Mother Earth is in the forefront. Of course, without Mother Earth, we would not be here. Okay. So we have Pachamama and we have the Apus, which are the mountains. And so both of these are very sacred. The Apus, the mountains, because those are the highest thing we have on earth. So it touches higher power, universe, God, whatever word you want to use, and that's where the spirits come from. So
we use a lot of plant medicines, and when you get your plant medicines from higher up, the plants have to work harder to get the oxygen, and because they do, they make stronger, hardier plant medicines.
yeah, yeah. Which is why, also, side note, the coffee is so good.
Little secret there from your barista.
Yeah, when the coffee is grown in the high mountains, it does taste better as well. So, and people will have the opportunity to buy coffee when in Peru. So,
I might be tasting it. I'm not a coffee person. I don't know why. I just never have been. But I do drink matcha and other varieties of tea. But yeah, you might get to talk me into it.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
I'm
yeah, buy as much as you want, drink as much as you want. But so yeah, while we're there in Peru, the despacho ceremony. So not only do they really do a lot of despacho ceremonies in honor of Mother Earth and the Apus, but throughout the year, because this is a ceremony that can be done at any time. I mean, marriage, death, birth, new business, new home.
yeah, anything.
Yeah, yeah, and what it really also very depends on is because in the despacho ceremony, there are certain things that are always included. For example, flowers, red and white, but and also coca leaves, different seeds from the plants, but also little symbols like a man and a woman, a house, depending on what the actual reason for the despacho ceremony is. Health, so you do put little symbols in there, including money. Somebody wants more abundance.
Let's just back up a step here because I know where you're going with this, but we never really said it. This is like manifestation. And one of the great things, and like, first of all, I got to tell everybody, this lady is crazy. Vesna is crazy. She is so undercharging for this trip. This is a $10,000 trip and it's not $10,000, right? And I
Right.
shouldn't say how much it is, but when you find out how much it is, right, you're going to flip, because what you get, this is one of the reasons to do this is because we're up leveling the earth, and what we're going through right now, we're shifting, everything is changing, and a lot of us aren't even in our bodies, we're just floating around in our heads, and we're not grounded. And when you go to the valley and walk around, it's like you're grounding and you're getting all of this amazing earth energy brought back into your body. Not that we don't want to up level, we are up leveling, that's going to happen regardless, but to ground us while we're doing it and anchor that new level, that new shift into us is so important. So you know me, I'm kind of like the queen of manifestation here. It's been what I do my whole life, to do that and bring that into these ceremonies and have the ceremonies ground what we're working towards, what our issues are, or removal of limiting beliefs or things we want to bring into our lives, how we want to up level, to have all those things at our disposal during this trip. It's astronomical up leveling possibilities, limitless.
Right.
I just had to say that. I just had to get that in.
Yeah.
And the plant medicines, of course,
Right.
they so spiritual.
Well, so yeah, let me address both of those things. So definitely, we need both. We need to be grounded, but also, spiritually connected. So both are very important. And with this trip, everything is included when you're in Peru. So where we're going to be staying, as far as the retreat center, breakfast and dinner is included, and the transportation in Peru. Okay, as I mentioned, those people who are coming or going to Peru for the medical issues, the first doctor visit is included, and then the rest needs to be also discussed with the physician.
Of course, everybody's a little.
Right, right. And the other thing that a person needs to buy themselves is the plane ticket, the airfare from here to Peru. But otherwise, everything is included. So yes, it definitely is a package deal. With the plant medicines, if a person is interested in taking plant medicine, that is separate. Okay, so that will be charged separately.
But it's
And
there, and it's a possibility.
yes, it is. People will definitely have the opportunity. Okay, and I do know people who have taken plant medicine in the United States and also took it in Peru and had very different experiences. And that is for, I would say, multiple reasons. One of them being the energy is very different. I mean, the plant medicine that we would be taking in Peru this time is not in the Amazon rainforest. It would be on at the retreat center where we will be staying, but it's very beautiful, very peaceful. The mountains surround the retreat center, so the energy is phenomenal. But then also the healer that will be dispensing the plant medicine makes it themselves, so you know exactly where it's coming from. Whereas people,
Optional, right?
yes, yes. Whereas the people here, sometimes it's hard to say if somebody else made it or whatever, but it is optional. No one is forced. It is often said that the plant medicine needs to invite you, call you in to take it. So,
And that's the main reason many, many, many people go. But we're going to go to a commercial right now. So grab your phone, scan the QR code, or click the link if there's a link that's clickable. If not, we will put it in the Facebook group for you. We'll be right back with multiple streams of consciousness. Vibe it up. And we are right back with multiple streams of consciousness. Vibe it up with me, Dr. Alexis Johnson, and my good friend and colleague, Vesna Matic. We're going to Peru. I'm not sure how, when, where, how I'm going to make this happen, but I can feel it. I had a psychic reading with somebody the other day, totally impromptu. And she said to me, "You're going on a trip. You're not coming back. Not for a long time. You're going to be really happy there." I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so excited. And I do feel totally called. When I was a little girl, I know it's not Peru, but when I was in, I think it was grade 4, our teacher let us watch a movie about Brazil. and it wasn't Peru, but it was about Brazil. And my little kid brain looks at South America and sees the darkness, right? It sees unknown, and it sees native, and it sees like backwards. It doesn't see big cities. And on the screen came Brasilia, a city that was like New York with big tall buildings. And I went, wow, I need to go there. And I saw the beaches, which I love the ocean, and I saw so much. And I got to go in 2008, not to Brazil, but to the eastern coast. And I went down that whole side. Well, not the whole side, but I went to Belize and all the places around there, and had the best time with my husband at the time. And then, well, he's passed away. We had planned to move, and that didn't happen. Well, who knows? You never know what's going to happen now. But I am finally going to get to go. And my oldest son always said, "Mom, I'm going to take you to Machu Picchu someday." Well, he's off in Thailand or wherever the heck he is right now, doing his thing. And when am I going to get to do this? Like, I don't want to do it when I'm 90. I want to do it right now, right?
Right.
So we're going to make this happen somehow. And I want to talk about a little bit more, though, about the plant medicines and their safety, and how do you prepare for the plant medicines? Like, give us a little bit of background on this, because we're not there very long, right? It's just a short little
Right.
10 trip or whatever, week-long
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, 7 days. So with the plant medicines, as I said a little bit ago, it really is said that you need to be called. And so when the decision is made to go ahead and take the plant medicine, that you prepare for it in advance. So meditating and really getting your intention as to why you are doing it is imperative. The plant medicines are not to get high
No.
here, in the United States and so many other places. Especially nowadays, fentanyl, meth. It's
Oh, no, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about
right,
that.
right. So people use those in order to get high. A lot of other people have said that they did some other hallucinogenics. Um, my response to that always is that with this plant medicine, these plants have been on this earth since the beginning of time, and they are very sacred. They have their own intelligence, so it's not like the drugs that are man-made, not at all. And
Exactly.
so with the man-made, it is pretty easy to get addicted, whereas with these plant medicines, that is not the reason why they came down here on this earth. It's to help us as human beings, and for
Open the
growth
third
and
eye.
enlightenment. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, enlightenment. And there's a
yeah,
message in that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, like I said, sitting down, meditating, having the intention as to why you are doing it. There is also a diet that is highly, highly recommended. There are people who have gone ahead and taken the plant medicine without preparing themselves physically.
Mm.
And as a matter of fact, I was talking with Daniel not too long ago about a gentleman who um, came over, to the retreat center. He smoked cigarettes over like a pack, 2 packs a day,
Oh
uh,
my.
alcohol also, and foods that are not recommended. And he started feeling, the effects because he was kind of quitting everything cold turkey. So, um,
Never a
make
good
no, no,
idea.
not at all, not at all. So,
Well,
like I
I'm
said,
challenge to my son. I have a son that would love to go on this trip. His name is Marlon. If you're watching, Marlon, I'm going to issue you an invitation to join us, right? Come on, let's open your third eye is so open. It's like disgusting how open your third eye is. But come and have a new experience with us. Show your old mom the way.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't beat the price, right? You can't beat the price.
No.
I don't want to say it. I want you to go to the website to see it.
Yeah. So people, their reaction once they do take the plant medicine, and so there are two, the ayahuasca and
Mhm.
the wachuma or San Pedro, and they are boiled for a very long time. So it's like a little bit thicker tea. And, of course, as with all plants and things that are healthy or good for us, they taste horrible. So,
It's bitter.
yeah.
Bitter is good for us. We don't get bitter in our diet. We like the sweet and we like the salty. We like the sweet and the savory, but we don't really add a lot of the bitter in. And bitters like the endives and some other foods that have the bitter is so healthy for us. Even just a little bit to add in is better than not to have any. So this is not a bad thing. Not at
No.
all. This is actually a good thing.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad thing.
Mm.
And so people's reactions vary. There usually is some form of purging, which can be either, the vomiting or the diarrhea. Some people have both. Some people have nothing. So it really does depend on the individual.
It depends on
That
how toxic your diet has been and your lifestyle has been in the first place, right?
Not only your diet, but
Yeah.
again, psychologically, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
If there are a lot of things that a person has been sitting on for a long time, and so the purging occurs. So it's not a bad thing at all, and of course the healers very used to it, kind of expect it, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah,
Part of life.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Well, I just want to say that you are never going to be doing this at this low investment ever again. That you're basically doing it you're doing it because you have a great big heart, but you want to get the testimonials out there so that other people know what the experience is, even though you've been doing it in the past. Right now, because of what we've gone through with the pandemic and all that's stresses that we've gotten in our life, you've deliberately kept the prices as low as that you have. But this is an investment in yourself, and it's medical, right? So whatever you normally can do with medical expenses, you can do with this as well. So you got to come and join us.
and it can, as far as the medical issues, it can be anything. If even a person wants to get the physical, maybe they need, let's say, an X-ray, MRI.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they are so affordable there. And when I say affordable, I mean like $50. I mean, the X-rays, the MRIs, the CAT scan. If someone else needs some other procedure, I do have a questionnaire. Okay, so that when someone goes to my website and they RSVP, or if they also want to shoot me a message, I will send out the medical questionnaire so that a person can fill out in detail as far as, for example, um, what medical issues they do have, what medications they are currently on, if they are wanting to purchase medications in Peru, which medications, and if
Prepare.
by chance, yeah, if they want a procedure done uh, and might need to stay a little bit longer in Peru, are they able to do so? I forget exactly. I want to say there's like 11 questions that I have.
That's good. So we're going to be right back. We're going to give you another nice commercial here that we want you to take advantage of. And we're going to come back and find out what else you can do in Peru while we're there, right? We'll be right back with multiple streams of consciousness. Vibe it up. And we're back. Vesna, I just got to say, there's got to be a story behind that beautiful dress that you're wearing with all the pinks and wild colors in it, and you look so amazing in it. Is there a story? There's got to be something.
Well, when I was in Peru in May, so in May of this year, was in Peru for 2 weeks, and the first week was spent in there at Machu Picchu, going around the Sacred Valley. Second week was going into the Amazon rainforest. But during that first week, uh, my clients and also friends, we went up to this very small village, and the dress, the hat, everything I am wearing is all handmade.
Wow.
And oh yes, and all of the dyes that they use for those garments is all they're all natural dyes. So what they did was we spent the several hours up there in the small village. We were talking with the family who they go and get the wool. They make the yarn. Everything is by hand, and they alpaca, yes, is the primary. And then they showed us the different plants and some insects that they use in order to make those dyes. And what I did was I bought this small cloth from Mesa, and I mean it's phenomenal what they do. The work is so intricate, so intricate. And what's also amazing is that is their I don't want to use the word costume. That sounds, so I don't know, fake or whatever. But that is actually what they wear. And for the women and stuff, the hats, because it comes in different shapes and stuff, tells you what regions they come from.
So they wear that every day? Wow. Oh, wow. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah.
That's like the Victorian era with the long gowns that women used to wear. My goodness.
Well,
It's
actually, they come up to the knee. Okay, the dresses come up to the knee, and they really are very full dresses. Yeah, and a lot of times they'll have the little jacket and then the hat. Oh yeah, yeah. It's the colors there. I mean, I absolutely love the cloth
yeah, it's
and
very
everything.
vibrant. What do they make the dyes out of? Are they plant? They must be plant dyes as well, right?
The majority of them, yes, are come from the different plants that grow in the area, and this again is up in the mountains. Okay, so different plants. The red color though does come from a beetle, an insect. Okay,
Really?
yeah, hmm hmm
I
yeah.
don't even think I want to know how they get the red out of the beetle. let's
Well,
let's
just
not go there.
yeah, some very small beetles, but anyway, um,
Okay.
they're all natural. Everything is all natural. Yes.
Well, that's amazing. So is it like a cotton or do they weave it like a cotton or a linen?
Well, it is alpaca. So after they
Wool? Is
I'm
it
sorry.
cold there in that area?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
again, they're up in the mountains.
Oh,
So
oh, oh, I see. I get it now. I get it now.
yeah,
So I
and
should bring sweaters and things when I come.
well, no, because you got to remember that in Peru, because of the equator, the seasons are the exact opposite. So here in North America, it's winter. Down there, it's summer, kind of spring, summer. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
it's
what else
yeah.
is there to do in Peru? Because you're so enlightening me here.
Oh God, there are so many things to do. There are the shops, the museums. Um, my objective is again that we get a healer to do the despacho ceremony. But if this healer, because he does come down from the mountains, so we're talking 15,000 feet elevation, he also reads coca leaves.
Oh,
Oh, yes, yes.
so it's like drinking tea leaves and having a tea leaf reader, but he's a coca leaf reader. I
Exactly.
didn't even know there was such a thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I am just gonna love this.
So coca leaves in Peru are also very sacred.
Is
The
that the
coca,
one like in that movie, The Medicine Man, where it's so full of caffeine it gets rid of headaches and opens you up, like wakes you up? Is that coca?
well, yeah, the coca leaves are used for multiple reasons. Number one, for high altitude because it opens up the or brings in more oxygen, oxygenation, well, whatever.
It also,
Thank you. So it does help with really being able to use the oxygen.
mhm.
So everywhere you go, restaurants, hotels, whatever, they will offer you coca tea. The locals will also chew the coca leaves because when they're out there in the fields, they really don't feel as much hunger. Okay. The shamans, the healers, are also always chewing coca leaves because it just kind of helps with the connection. So coca leaves, like I said, are very sacred in Peru, and you have people who do coca readings. Yes,
Well, I can't wait.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of things to do there.
Wow.
Also, also just relax. I mean, the air is so clean and crisp. And when you go around, to me, it's also so funny that there are family-owned restaurants wherever you go, and they will have signs out in front, you know, the name of the restaurant, and they'll also put like organic, and that's not for the locals because the people know the food grown there does not, they don't use pesticides, so it's really for tourists.
It's all organic. So what type of foods do they eat there? Must be very heavily plant-based.
Corn and potatoes are staple. There are hundreds upon thousands of varieties of the potatoes, and I'm so happy that here in the United States or in North America, they fairly recently started selling the purple potatoes.
Mhm. Yep.
You, that's a common staple in Peru.
Very
Um,
high in anthocyanins. The blues and purples are very high in anthocyanins, which is an antioxidant, which they like because it helps oxygenate you, but also helps to with stabilizing immunity in your body. Not raising immunity, but stabilizing it so that you are less likely, less prone to um, antimicrobial or viral attack. Very
okay.
important.
And corn, they also have so many varieties of corn. So those two are a staple. As far as everything else,
Is like I know there's such a thing as a blue corn. Is
yeah.
it like our corn on the cob, or do they take it off and you eat like cream corn? Like how do they serve it?
um,
More of a porridge?
well, you know, you eat corn on the cob. You can also buy a snack, and the kernels, it's Aztec corn, are really huge. They're about like the size of two small kernels, two or three is how big those are. So, you know,
Mm.
they'll eat that as a snack. You know, mix it up in a dish or a soup. Oh yeah, love corn. They love corn. Um, and then as far as meats, I mean, you know, beef, you know, chicken. They do also have, they do like goat meat. So a lot of vegetables, a lot of vegetables. Yes.
And of
Um,
course, there are different kind of vegetables than we have here.
quinoa is also
But
very, another staple. Yeah.
mm, I eat a
So
lot of quinoa.
yeah, yeah, very healthy diets, very healthy.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
So what is this trip like? My mind is blown here. I mean, I know you and we talk about these sorts of things all the time, but we never really went through all the things that's included in the trip. So we pay for the airfare, and then we get there, and you give us a ride to the resort, and we get to the resort, and we get our housing while we're there. We get fed while we're there, 2 fabulous meals a day. We get these little excursions, and the shaman comes down from the mountains. We get the spacho ceremony, an option to do the plant medicines, but we don't have to, but that's an extra. And we also get to talk to medical doctors if that's what we want to do as well. And one visit would be included. Have I got that right, or have I missed something? And then we get all the shopping and all this other stuff that we can do the normal touristy thing. Are we by a beach? We're in the valley? Are we going up the mountain? What all are we doing here?
Well, again, this is the Sacred Valley. So when we say valley, yes, there is the valley, but we're also surrounded by mountains. So as far as
valley, right?
I'm sorry?
It's kind of a long, narrow valley, right? It's in between the two ranges.
Yeah. So the retreat center that we will be staying at is about 9,000 feet above sea level. Okay. So pretty much, that's the elevation that we're going to be around most of the time.
We're going to land in Lima. Yes.
Well,
Santiago. That would be chilly.
Latam is the best airline. Latam. Okay. So Latam, what they do wherever you're coming from, first stop is Lima, and then from Lima to Cusco. All right. And then once everyone arrives in Cusco, then we will go by, shuttle bus to the retreat center. Okay. And what I'm also thinking, so one option will be the plant medicine, if somebody wants to do that. And then also probably if a person would like to make their own drum.
Oh.
And then take that, of course, take it home with you. So I think we'll have a workshop where we can make our own drums. Yes.
Well, I'm thinking of bringing some people up to write their next bestseller. So we might be able to incorporate some get her done sessions. So there'll be some work that we can do before we go to get your preliminary work done, so that when you get there, we just help you get it out of your head and get it done.
Okay. And then of course,
mine into coming with that's in the book publishing industry.
Okay. Well, and meditations, and this is, for me, all of these I don't call them trips, I call them sacred journeys, is about the body, mind, spirit connection. And so that, we do function with all three working together. So all will be addressed at this time. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal. Okay, we're going to take another commercial break and come back and tie it all together. So scan with your phone if you're watching on the computer, or if you're on the computer, or if you're on your phone, you can click the link and get a gift, and we'll be back. Well, I am so blown away, Vesna. I'm not even sure what to ask you anymore. It's just there's so much more that I ever even anticipated about going to Peru. like it's a mystery to me. It's South America has always been fascinating to me, and I just feel so drawn to go there. Whether it's Ecuador or Chile or Peru, I've had 5 girlfriends from various different areas from the South American continent, and it just amazes me every single time that I'm so drawn to that particular area as opposed to all others. You know, I have a bucket list of places I want to go to, but I'm a beach kind of gal. So I just hope that when I get there, that I will feel like never mind. I know I'm going to feel the energies.
Oh yeah.
I know I will, but I just feel so drawn to the ocean. So I'm more of an ocean person, but I'm sure that I'm going to get something out of this, like something major out of this, because I'm just feeling so revved up about going. So tell us a little bit more about this. What do you want to talk about here? We've
Well,
got 5 minutes or
just in
so.
case, just in case if someone is not able to go on this journey in December, and again, it is the first week in December. Don't worry, because next year I will also be taking more groups to Peru. And what I want is so that each one is maybe a little bit.
Not at this investment. This is the lowest you're ever going to offer it.
Right, right. So yeah, if you've been thinking about it for a while, now is definitely the time to go, because next year, everything is increasing, and so the trips will also. But next year, I want to take a group to the Amazon rainforest. Okay, and actually, this, I don't know if you can see it. This is on my screensaver.
Oh my goodness.
Can you see him?
Yeah, I can see him. He's is that a
Sloth.
shaman?
No,
What is
that's a
that?
sloth. A sloth.
Oh, it's a sloth. Oh, I thought it was a man with a costume on. It's an
It-
actual sloth.
It's a sloth. The sloth was sitting there smiling for me when I took the picture in the Amazon rainforest. Yes.
Wow.
So,
What
I'll
are
be.
what different kind of animals are out there?
Oh gosh. So you have sloths. You have all these different monkeys. I'm going to forget the name of it exactly, but if you ever watched the movie The Bucket List, and
Oh, that little
with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson, making a
yeah.
plug for the movie. They talk. He talks about the coffee that he loves to drink. Right, Jack
Yeah,
Nicholson.
yeah. Oh, this is funny.
They do have the animal, and I have it on my cell phone
I
here.
don't remember the name of that animal either, but why don't you tell that little story about what the drink is made from? And I'm going to see if I can look it up. How about that?
Sure. So what this and for lack of a better way of describing this animal, it's about the size of maybe a large kind of rat, and it has a pointed nose. And what this animal does is the coffee beans. It loves coffee beans, and it eats the coffee beans. It has some acid in its body that works on the coffee beans. So then once it poops, people go and collect the coffee beans.
I got
And
it.
you did? Okay.
It's the Kopi Luwak is a coffee that consists of partially digested coffee cherries, which have been eaten and defecated by the Asian palm civet. It's a civet is the name of the animal.
Yeah. And when, so with my group, we went to an animal sanctuary, which possibly, again, it depends on how much time for this particular trip. Maybe we will go to an animal sanctuary. And after we got done, touring the whole place, they were selling the coffee beans. And it was in a very small package. I want to say about 6 ounces, and it was like $40. It was ridiculous. Very expensive coffee. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jack Nicholson plays a very multimillionaire kind of guy in that movie. He's got all kinds of money, and he offers Morgan Freeman a taste of this coffee, and he tastes and he says, "Oh wow, that is really, really good." and they make some jokes about it. You know, how they're, I don't even know what the jokes are. I'm not good at joke telling. But when Morgan Freeman finds out what the coffee beans are made of, right? He's like
Well,
having second thoughts about it.
well, actually, no, Morgan Freeman doesn't drink it because
Okay.
Jack Nicholson was telling him about the coffee.
Oh,
Morgan Freeman was laughing, and Jack Nicholson wasn't quite sure why. But then later on in the
oh, it
movie,
was the other way around. That's right.
yeah, Morgan Freeman tells him how the coffee is made, so to speak, and they both sit there and they both
Yeah,
start laughing.
but the thing that they don't realize, or they don't say in the movie, is that the beans change inside the monkey. They become fermented, and it's
Right,
the fermentation process. Fermentation, what makes probiotic, and probiotic is the acidophilus of the yogurt or the sour in the sauerkraut. So it's actually something healthy for you that nature produces through this whole process. It's human beings that put a perspective to it and judge it and say,
right,
"Ooh, yuck, that's not good."
right,
Right? But it's
exactly.
nature, and it goes back into the earth at the very least to recreate and energize our earth. And man has found a way to make a broth out of it and popularize it as this particular coffee.
That's right.
Kopi Luwak.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing is going to happen with us when we pass.
Yeah, well,
So,
yeah. You know what? We're so excited about talking about this. We're running over our time here. We need to leave. So, Vesna, we're going to have you come back another time and talk more about this. But the investment is so low that whenever you're watching this, the next time is always going to be more and more expensive because these parts of the world are sacred and it costs a lot to protect them when we get there. So, just go on our Facebook group, and I'll give you the information of how to get there. So we're going to have to say goodbye to multiple streams of
well,
consciousness and our fabulous guest, Vesna Matic.
thank you.
We'll talk there.
Matic, real quick, my website, you can go to healingsacredjourneys.com. Okay, and it will take you directly to the Transformational Journeys page, or give me a call, 928-224-5998.
There you
So,
go. And I only let my girlfriend do that. My girl Vesna. Thanks, folks. See you soon.
all
Meet me
right.
in the Facebook group. We'll answer